Yes, a very good evening, or welcome to Fraher Field for round one of the County Senior Football Championship. It's Group A, Ballinacourty versus Ardmore. Tomas McCarthy here with Benji Whelan on commentary duty, and wherever you're watching us this evening, we hope you're going to enjoy our coverage. We really wish you were here, and fingers crossed in the next couple of weeks, or maybe even shorter, that we'll have spectators back at GAA games in Waterford and beyond. Before we get Benji Whelan's big match prediction, let's go through the two teams. For Ballinacourty, it's Stephen Enright between the posts. It's Darragh McGrath, David Montgomery and Conor McCarthy in the full back line. The half-backs, it's James O'Mahony wearing 5, Brian Luby wearing 6 and his brother Tom Luby wearing 7. In the middle of the field, it's number 8 Conor Prunty and number 9 James Beresford. In the half-forward line, it's Michael Kiley wearing 10. Wearing number 24 is Dean Beresford, and wearing number 12 is the Ballinacourty captain this evening, that's Michael O'Halloran. The Ballinacourty full forward line is made up of number 13 Neil Montgomery, number 14 Patrick Hurney and number 15 David Luby. Ardmore, Christopher Power is between the posts wearing 16. Full back line of Niall Hennessy, Seamus Prendergast and Padraig Foley. Halfbacks, 5 Stephen Morris, 6 Declan Prendergast and 7 Jack Keane. Middle of the field is number 8 Michael Cronin, captain, and number 9 Seamus Keating. Half forwards then, it's Owen Conway wearing 10, James Flavin with 11 and Kieran Keating with 12, and a full forward line of James Kennedy, Owen O'Shea and Seamus Cronin. The referee for this evening's game will be Tommy O'Sullivan from Cappoquin Afan. There is a bit of a breeze looking out at the tricolour going towards the road goal. Ardmore haven't beaten Ballinacourty in senior championship football in 13 years, going back to the 2007 first round clash, and of course these sides did meet in the 2007 county final as well, which Ballinacourty emerged victorious. I'm joined by Waterford football boss Benji Whelan in the commentary box this evening. Benji, what are you expecting from this game today?
Difficult to know, Tomas, given it's so early. First games for all of these teams this weekend, so I suppose all you're really working off is the time frame that they've been actually playing football, and at this stage, I'd say the odds heavily lie with Ballinacourty because of the fact that they're probably playing football that month, and given the pedigree that they bring into the game. So, look, what you're hoping for really is you're hoping to see the difference between championship preparation, where it's focused on the one sport rather than intermingling the two, I suppose. So, look, going forward, that's what I'd be hoping for in the club scene, that we would have a separate I suppose season of all, if we want to call it that, for hurling and football, just to see an improvement in the level of performance from players. So that's what I'm looking for, just to see where we're at as regards football when we're just playing football. But I mean, overall in the game, look, Ardmore are going to find it difficult tonight, but I'm not ruling them out just yet. There's battling qualities in that side too, and there's hardened veterans in there that they're seasoned, they know exactly what to expect. So you just wouldn't know what will happen here.
Yeah, do you think the way the season has been formatted at the moment, Benji, due to COVID-19, with the hurling being run off first of all, and then the football, is that beneficial to the likes of Ballinacourty, Dungarvan and Water, who are looking to go deep into both championships?
Absolutely. I mean, look, there is a little bit of an attitude in this county that we can switch on football, and that hurling takes more time. And to me, both sports require a certain amount of time to be, to get into the flow of playing as a team, and also to build up your confidence levels from a playing point of view. So definitely from the clubs that are dominant, or that have been dominant and are typical semi-finalists year on year, they will find that going into it with just preparing for the one code will really help them. I mean, my time above in the Nair, I felt that when we were playing football for probably a month, 5 weeks, now we were really going at football properly, I suppose. Yeah. And if more sides had that opportunity, I feel we would see the level of football performance go improve, and that's what we're looking for really.
Do you think there'll be a bit of motivation in the Ballinacourty group this evening, Benji? They finished runners up to Rathcormac last year, kind of underperformed, I suppose, in the county final relatively to the level of performance they would have expected of themselves. Will they be looking to bounce back straight away here this evening?
Absolutely. I mean, look, they've got really, really quality players in their side, and you know, they're stepping up year on year. They're bringing through some young players. You know, they probably, like, I don't know whether they'd admit this, but they have been punching below their weight for the last few years, I would feel. And look, they'll always try to put that to right, but it's an opportunity just to get a really good, strong run out tonight now, and I suppose throw caution to the wind that little bit and just see what they're about. I'm sure they've played some quality challenges up until now, so we'll just see where they're at.
Yeah, like it's 2013 since their last Conway Cup, Benji. Like, that's a long time for a club of Ballinacourty's calibre.
Absolutely, and you know, the number of players that they have, like, you know, they have the quality in the side, and again, it's just, I feel it's so difficult for these clubs trying to marry two, you know, and I mean, the emphasis, as certainly since Peter Queally came in there a few years ago, had been on the hurling more, I felt. So, you know, perhaps, you know, there might be a bit of a change here now with new management, and like, you know, I know they went after the hurling like they did, but I really feel that they might have been focused on football. So we'll see what they're about now in a few minutes.
I suppose it's going to be a tall order for Ardmore this evening, Benji. There's been a bit of a turnover, and they're missing key players, the likes of John and David Gartland. You know, Sean Barron has gone and joined Cove Ramblers. They're out, like Shane Keevers, Daniel Power, players who've been around, the likes of Wayne Hennessy as well, who gave great service to Ardmore. So it's definitely kind of a transition period for Ardmore this season.
It is, like, and I mean, look, in this kind of a situation like this, you're looking just to maintain possession and work your way into the game. Get to the first water break, you know, attached in the tie, and then work the same in the second half. I mean, you've really got to keep the ball when you get it, and, like, you know, that'll be interesting just to see how many possessions they can turn into realistic chances. But that takes patience, and you know, when you're missing key players and especially lads you mentioned, a good bit of experience lost there, it's going to be difficult for the youngsters that replace them. But look, this is the coalface. This is where they learn. This is what it's all about. And you know, the more games these guys play at this level against this calibre of opposition, the better they'll be. Yeah,
well, the sun has just come out in time for throwing, and Tommy O'Sullivan, the referee, is resplendent in gold in the middle of the pitch there as we get ready for the throw. It looks like Ardmore are going to play with the breeze towards the road goal, whatever breeze is in it this evening. But Ballinacourty even very dominant in this rivalry. They've won the last 8 meetings between these sides, including the 07 county final. And now we're ready for throw-in. If we can get a football in to Tommy O'Sullivan to get this first round tie underway. And already you see Seamus Keaton and Michael Cronin out there, Conor Prunty and James Beresford. That's going to be a big battle around the middle of the field, Benji. Seamus Keaton and Conor Prunty.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. A lot of athleticism on show there. And Seamus Cronin has great battling quality. He's a real hard worker, and you know, he'll push James along as well.
Ball is in and the game is on. We're underway here in Fraher Field. Wherever you're watching us, we hope you enjoy our coverage this evening. And it's the Ardmore captain Michael Cronin who gets possession. They are playing with the breeze here towards their own goal. This is Seamus Keating, one of 3 Keating brothers on the Ardmore panel this evening. That's out to Seamus Cronin. First chance here for Ardmore. It's Owen O'Shea with the hand pass inside. Ardmore looking to build their first attack of the evening. In the sunshine here in Fairfield. And to Michael Cronin again. Inside to his midfield partner, that's Seamus Keating. Back out to James Kennedy. Kennedy back to Kieran Keating. Keating with a high one in, but O'Shea makes something of it. Yes, he can. His grandfather was an All-Ireland hurling winner of Waterford back in 48. Back in O'Shea with the big ball. Oh, just in short towards Stephen Enright. Eat and drink for a player of Enright's calibre. And Ballinacourty get their hands on the ball for the first time. Runners up last year, of course. They've lost their last 3 finals to Strably, Deny and Rathcormac. There's a stray pass there. Ardmore coming forward now with James Flavin, has been on the Waterford hurling panel this year. What clambering across there is David Montgomery, brother of Neil. First taste of senior actions of David this evening. Here's a man who's had plenty of senior action. That's Brian Luby, Waterford football captain in 2019. And to Darren McGrath. Courty attacking the country end here in this opening half. Nice touch inside. Chance for Dean Beresford here. Out to David Luby, their top scorer last year. Back outside to Neil Montgomery. First chance for Monty. First point for Ballinacourty. First attack, first score, Benji.
Yeah. Good fluent movement to the ball there. Brian Luby very composed coming through the middle there, just picking out the nice layoff, and then a lovely kick in through, and a lovely little flick. It could have went to hand. If it went to hand, it was probably a goal on. So they're moving quite well.
So first blood to Ballinacourty. It's Christopher Powell with the kick out. They were looking for the mark there from James Flavin, didn't quite pay off. Courty come again. Conor Prunty just turned 23 on Tuesday, did Prunty. New man in. Dean Beresford wins the free for the Villagers. This is Brian Luby. Has got too many points for Ballinacourty over the years, but this is one of them. He can defend it, he can attack. Ballinacourty 2 points to the good, Benji.
Yeah. You get a turnover here on the kick out, and that's key. You really got to try and maintain possession after kicks to build, and Ballinacourty worked really hard there to turn that ball over. Found the man running through the middle. No mistake from Brian.
Yeah, won his first county medal in 2013, his first year on the Ballinacourty senior panel. Of course, David and Tom, his brothers, also in the Ballinacourty lineup this evening. Just a little bit of a hold up in play. Christopher Power, his cousin Niall, is also part of the Ardmore team. He's also a goalkeeper. Power looking for his target, and he's got it this time.
Great catch by Jack.
Yeah, great catch there by Jack Keane. He makes his mark. Nice ball inside towards James Kennedy. This looks promising for Ardmore. It's in towards James Flavin. James Flavin with the overhead pass, but wasn't an Ardmore man there to take it. And again, another ball into Stephen Enright, and they'll rue that missed opportunity, Benji.
Yeah, I mean, that was the time just to keep the ball, turn around and try and create something. There's a pass over his head, but just so wasteful at this situation.
And it's gone from one end of the field to the other. This is David Luby. Deadly accurate from place balls and in general play as well. It's a curling effort from Tom Luby, trying to follow in his brother's footsteps, but left and wide on that occasion. And Courtney so dangerous on the counter attack, Benji, so far.
Yeah, I mean, they're really moving that ball quite well into the open spaces, and they're collecting ball and running off the shoulder. So it's quite difficult for Ardmore. Just need to get a hold of the ball a bit better.
And Christopher Power again looking for his target from the kick out. For Kieran Keating. And the three brothers into his brother Seamus. To Niall Hennessy. 17 years yesterday that Niall captained the Waterford 21s to Munster glory against Kerry in Welsh Park. And he helped Ardmore to glory here. It's appealed for a foul inside on James Flavin. Still on deaf ears, another ball into Stephen Enright. It's 3 short for Ardmore so far. And Courty can build from the back. Brian Luby, 2 points up. Montgomery and Luby on target. This is Monty. Yeah, it's handled on the ground. It's going to be free to Ardmore. Someone's just gone in beneath the clouds here in Fairfield. Light breeze towards the road goal, nothing very significant though. That's to Niall Hennessy. That was always going to be a difficult one for the corner back. And Ballinacourty have won back possession. This is Tom Luby. Just off target earlier on into David Luby. He's shown out in front so far. Paddy Foley. And Foley loses his boot like Jason Sherlock. He's still chasing after David Luby. Pressure coming in there from Jack Keane. Luby puts this one in very, very high, but it's very accurate. Luby is after mark. Ballinacourty 3 to the good. He looks sharp so far, Benji, David Luby inside.
Yeah, definitely. He was unlucky off the left there earlier, and that was a great kick off the right. Ardmore just need to show a little bit more patience in possession. They've had the ball in the dangerous areas just as many times as Ballinacourty, but just forcing it just that little bit more patience, and this game could be very different.
Yeah, just need to improve their conversion rate in front of the goal. The man who's shown well so far, that's Kennedy. He has Conor McCarthy for company though. And this is Neil Montgomery, member of Liam Carroll Senior Hurling Panel, plays it along the ground. Soccer skills there by Monty into Brian Luby. Very advanced area for Luby. Luby to Luby, Brian to David. David Luby looking for the ball inside the Beresford, but it's cut out there by the wily old fox. That's Seamus Prendergast, 40 years of age to Seamus. What a warrior for Ardmore over the years, and he's found Michael Cronin. The captain has made something out of this. James Flavin looking for Ardmore's opener here. And Tommy O'Sullivan sees a foul, and good opportunity here for Ardmore to open their account, Benji.
Yeah. You'd think this should go over.
So coming up to the 8th minute here. Courty 3 to the good. Looks like James Kennedy is going to have a pop at this one.
First thing that occurs to you about the Ardmore situation here is the penetration that Brian Luby has given Ballycourty at this point in time. Like, that needs to be stopped straight away.
He's definitely one to watch so far, Brian Luby, and umpire goes for the white flag, and that'll be a confidence booster, Benji, for Ardmore from James Kennedy.
Yeah, well, you need to take those chances, and they're creating them in fairness by running at Ballycourty.
Now, Stephen Enright, former Waterford goalkeeper, sort of a day short of past decade, McGrath Cup winner in 2015. Courty on the attack again, trying to build from the back with Brian Luby.
Massive pocket of space to run into now.
This is Neil Montgomery. Can he make the most of it? That ball into the corner towards Patrick Horney. Good battle inside between the two experienced men, Seamus and Pudge. Free to Ballinacourty. What do you make of that decision, Benji?
Just a foot in, I felt, probably was a free.
4 Munster titles for Seamus Prendergast. Man of the match in the All-Ireland Junior Hurling final as well up in Croke Park against St. Mogs. That never to be forgotten day for the Seasiders. And first opportunity for David Luby. And he missed it left and wide, and he'll be disappointed with that one, Benji.
Very difficult for a right-footed player to kick from there. Extremely narrow angle, and then the natural curl of the ball is taken away from the goal.
Second wide for Ballinacourty. No, is it for Ardmore, but they have a 3 short into Stephen Enright. Out towards Owen Conway. Got a fine goal here against Shamrocks in the Intermediate Hurling Championship. Both sides went out. Quarter-finals of respective competitions. Abbeyside going down to Lismore at this venue. This is Seamus Cronin. Played for the Waterford under-20s earlier this year. Pre-COVID, as it's now known, it's going to be a free to Ardmore over the far side of the field.
Just what's obvious at the moment is just there's not enough movement in this Ardmore side. Ballinacourty are completely the opposite when they do get possession. The movement around the ball, and even 40, 50 yards away from the ball is huge, and the options are there because of that movement.
Now comes Stephen Enright. I think hearts and mouths here in front of us from the Ballinacourty sub, but it worked out. McCarthy. Chance here now for Darren McGrath into David Luby. Niall Hennessy is covering across. Experienced Hennessy. Comes it out to Patrick Foley very, very well. On the ground, got the offload away to Foley. Goal scorer here against Portlaw last year when they maintained their senior status. 6-10 to 5 points. This is Seamus Prendergast. It's a big
one inside at all at the moment. No option to play forward.
Keating looking to get something going here. Big ball inside. Oh, nearly got it inside to James Kennedy, but David Montgomery now can counter for Courty. Brother of Neil, who's already on the score sheet so far. The Mahoney. Patrick Horney now, he's Declan Prendergast for company. Former county footballer of the year. That's a real chimney kick from Pudge Horney in around the house. Oh, well caught there by Seamus Prendergast, but Tommy O'Sullivan was back for a free, and another chance from David Luby, and a similar angle to his first opportunity.
Probably a little bit closer in. probably fancy this one a bit better.
Yeah, well, he was top scorer in 2019 for Courty, two goals and 15 points. He's 2 under-21 medals to his name as well, 17 and 18. Point from play so far. Looking to extend Courty's advantage here.
He doesn't dwell over these, does he? He just
puts it down and takes it. Work from him on that occasion. White flag goes up. 4-1 to Ballinacourty, and looking very comfortable at the moment, Benji.
Yeah, their conversion rate to chances from possessions is quite high. They haven't been turned over probably only once so far.
Christopher Power looking for his options here. Had a mark earlier on from Jack Keane, but Neil Montgomery read his intentions and he's cut it out, and it could be a chance for Courty to capitalise here. Oh, well blocked down there by Declan Prendergast. Showing all his experience there, the captain of the All-Ireland junior team in 2018. 39 years of age, out to older brother Seamus. Can Ardmore make this move? Going out to the far side, asking a lot of Owen Conway there, or Owen O'Shea I should say. Courty again attacking down this left flank. Brian Newby, but Niall Hennessy gets there first. To Hennessy again. He just kicks that away in sheer frustration. I think he's actually got a knock, Niall Hennessy. He was under a lot of pressure there. The former Waterford under-21 captain, and
he was. It was just there was just no option to the backside of him, I suppose, where he wanted to play it. And he was trying to force the ball out into that forward area where the players were, and just had no option but to kick it, I suppose.
Yeah, this is the last thing that Ardmore need, Benji, when you're low on bodies. You don't want to lose an experienced fellow like Niall Hennessy.
Full-time scorer from Welsh Park in JJ Calvinson Senior Football Championship, by scoring with 321 since 8 years, 7 points.
Well, that's a massive win for Rathgormack in Welsh Park, 321 to 7 points. 23-point win over Savers. That's really laying down a mark early on, Benji, isn't it? Just judging by the scoreline alone.
This Rathgormack team will take a lot of stopping this week. And again, going back to what we talked about earlier, they're into their football probably 6 weeks at this stage, given Clonay's early exit from the Senior Hurling Championship.
And you've had seven starters on the county team, so they're operating at that high level as well, which benefits the club when they go back in.
And to benefit us hopefully later on as well.
Yeah, we could have a Munster Championship to come here, Limerick. Oh, lovely. Nicholas passes there, and Neil Montgomery couldn't apply the finishing touch. Late challenge coming in. Ardmore protest their innocence, but look like a late.
They're looking at that one now.
Ardmore certainly weren't happy with it. Went wide from the boot of Neil Montgomery, but this is bread and butter stuff for David Luby. Should be 2 from 3 from the dead ball. Indeed it is. And as we approach the first water break here, 5-1 to Ballinacourty, and Ardmore not making much inroads out of the possession they're getting so far, Benji.
No, they're not. And again, you just wondered if you could have foreseen this at the start of the game, could you?
And the kick out went out to Seamus Prendergast, but Tommy O'Sullivan has spotted something here off the ball, and that's going to be a free. So Seamus Prendergast penalised there, and another chance for David Luby. Can he add to his tally off his right peg? 2 frees and 1 from play. Has he pulled it? He has. He wouldn't have been expected to miss that one.
Yeah, he should have scored that, really. I'd be disappointed with that.
So 2 out of 4 for David Luby from the place ball. Let off for Ardmore, but they need to get these kick-outs away to a blue shirt. Brian Luby's looking to cut that out, but Seamus Keating gets there in front of them all. Clever play there by Keating, but it just drifts out over the sideline. And we're going to go for a water break, I think. with Ballinacourty leading by 5 points to 1. 3 points from the boot of David Luby. 2 frees, 1 from play. Neil Montgomery started it all off, and Brian Luby also on target from play. And all Ardmore have to show for their efforts. A 9-minute free from James Kennedy. What's your view on the water breaks, Benji, from what you've seen so far?
To be honest, I don't know the reasoning for it. I'm presuming it's to stop an interaction with the sideline during play.
Well, I suppose the fact now is that every player now has to have his individual water bottle. So there's not the water carrier going in and out.
Absolutely, yeah. But just from purely preparing a team's perspective and the managerial side of things, I think it's fantastic.
Right.
You can have an input, or you can get some information back from the lads, at that particular point. So it's great from a point of view of actually learning on the pitch. Something that we would have practiced an awful lot when we would have played challenge matches would be 3 25-minute periods or 3 20-minute periods, and that was purely just to get another opportunity to talk to the players about what had happened in that period, and then build on or find work-ons and then try to sort out these things. So from that point of view, it's fantastic. And you can see it going on. Probably not particularly for that purpose, obviously.
Yes.
It's still very helpful.
It's kind of turned into like a timeout in basketball, really.
Absolutely. And just from the point of view of being involved with teams, I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, certainly both teams are Ardmore be looking to reorganise during the break. I saw Gary Herney going into the Ballinacourty players and giving them a G up. But it's going to be a line ball to Courty. 6-time champions last in 2013, and look where Stephen Enright is and his own 65 for to take him out of. He's added a new dimension to his game in 2020. Nice to see a bit of innovation. And here's Neil Montgomery. Oh, he just turns. Declan Prendergast was threatening to pull the trigger, but thought better of it, and a nice pick out there to James Beresford. The Bull Beresford, chance of a score. Pulled it right, pulled it wide. Lovely pick out though by Neil Montgomery.
Found it lovely with the space there, just caught a couple of Ardmore guys watching ball and just snuck in the backside of him and almost scored.
Yeah, beware of the Bull was the sign around Abbeyside ahead of the county final 2 years ago. That's James Bull Beresford.
This is a big problem for Ardmore, isn't it?
Yeah, and they find the blue shirt this time, and it's knocked down, and again it falls into an arm of a green and white shirt, David Luby. This is Michael Kiley, first time we've seen Kiley in full flow. Back to the captain, that's Michael O'Halloran, but a straight pass there, and just Ballycourty maybe getting a little bit wasteful in the last couple of minutes, Benji.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit of encouragement for Ardmore. Jack Keane. He was fouled.
When you get an early lead, isn't it? It's just something that guys think that these chances are going to keep coming, so they can be a little bit flippant with them.
Yeah, so certainly Ardmore be hoping that Ballycourty have taken their foot off the gas. Their last 2 county final appearances, they've lost to Ballycourty in 81-07. This is James Kennedy point score so far. Can he add a second from play? Yes, he can. Good score by James Kennedy.
Very direct ball in from Seamus, I think it was. Secured it well, turned, created a little bit of space, and lovely stroke over the bar.
So just a kick of a ball between these two. 5 points to 2, 21 minutes gone. First point of the second quarter goes to the Seasiders, and they come up possession. James Flavin into James Kennedy, who's corner trace, and he's called the advance mark. Very, very clever thinking there, Benji. Of course, when it's kicked outside the 45, you can claim an advance mark inside, and Kennedy is showing well for the ball so far.
He is, yeah, and he's really got a good pair of hands. He's going to kick this from 5 yards outside where he caught it.
Really make the most of it. Yes, he does. White flag is raised. 3 points for Kennedy, 3 points for Ardmore, 5-3, and could start the second quarter for Ardmore, Benji.
Yeah, absolutely, really healthy position now.
So Stephen Enright is going to take this kick out. And I think we've lost a football. We've lost a few setters during the hurling championship. Mara Shanahan sent out a few into the river. They found a new ball for Stephen Enright. One of the players who played in that 07 final against Ardmore. Ballycourty won 6 in total. And this is James O'Mahony in the free. Easy call there for Tommy Sullivan. Back to Stephen Enright. He's very adventurous so far. This is Brian Luby just looking up to see his options. This is Darren McGrath. Darren McGrath out to Tom Luby. Into Michael O'Halloran off the shoulder there. And will he have a support runner in? Dean Beresford looking for his opener, and he's got it. Nice move there, Tom Luby, Michael O'Halloran, and Dean Beresford applied the finishing touches there, Benji.
Injection of pace. Really just accelerated with the ball, and lovely little layoff, great kick over the bar.
Yeah, so Dean Beresford marks his senior debut with a point. Double scores in Fairfield, 6-3. First round of the County Senior Football Championship win so far for the Nair and Rathcormac. Strebley and Bricky Rangers battling it out in Mini Bryan as well. And Kieran Keating, Ardmore need more from him, and clear foul. And he sends in a high one towards James Kennedy. And back there recovering, sweeping back is Brian Luby. Pressurised by 2 Ardmore forwards. They managed to get that out of trouble. Now to Michael O'Halloran. Part of that McGrath Cup win inside for Waterford. And 15. Memorable night here in Fairfield against UCC. Beat Cork before that. High ball inside. Looking for the advanced mark perhaps. Dean Beresford, a bit of confidence after getting that point into. Was that Conor Prunty? Out to Beresford again. Is he foul? Yes, just outside the large rectangle. I suppose Ballinacourty trying out a couple of new faces tonight, Benji. Maybe wouldn't be too familiar with the likes of Dean Beresford, and shows the work they're doing at underage. They're trying to bring in these new players and add to the panel this year.
If these guys are out on the pitch tonight, they can play. You know, they can play. So it'll be interesting to see how they develop over the course of the championship.
And here's another product of that youth academy. That's David Luby, and he's got 4 points so far for them. 3 of those from frees, and 47-3 in front.
Substitution, the Ardmore team, number 2, Niall Hennessy, was replaced by number 17, Stephen Keating.
Yes, so now we've all 3 of the Keating clan on the field. Definitely a loss for Ardmore to see Niall Hennessy go off the field. That's not what you want to see when you want your experienced men going off so early.
He senses danger, and he's certainly one of the main lads in there that senses danger for Ardmore, and it's just something that you can't really breed. You just either have it or you don't, and it's important that those guys are in around that goal.
Looks like there's a bit of a reshuffle. Looks like Declan Pendergast has gone back a bit deeper, and Owen O'Shea is marking Michael O'Halloran, as you can see on screen now. O'Halloran ducking and diving. He's looking very sharp in the early stages, and just as I say it, he sees the ball blocked down by Stephen Morris. Cut out at the back for Ballinacourty. This is Conor McCarthy raiding from the back into David Luby. Oh, there's a spare man outside. It's real danger here. Oh, saved inside Patrick Horney. Could he have carried it in a bit further, Benji?
Possibly, but I think he just misplaced it. Struck it well, but again, like, the chance came from Ardmore picking up possession on the 65 and just punting it away.
Yeah, can't afford to do that against Ballinacourty. It's Kieran Keating on the far side. He gets a relieving free. And looks like he might need a bit of a breather as well. So Kieran Keaton is going to get treatment over on the far side of the field. What do you make of this new football format? This year, Benji, I suppose, is going to be run off in the space of 5 weeks. What's your take on it?
The inter-county?
No, in terms of the club championship this year.
We're lucky to be playing tomorrow, sorry. You know, being realistic about it. So, I mean,
you'll take it.
We can't complain. Look, I would have liked when the 2 weeks extra came in at the very early stage. I would have liked that. Would say the hurling would have been run off in the same format. There was an extra week for the hurling group phase, and that we might have been started a week earlier, and that would have meant that the weekend that championship started or that inter-county started, the county final would have been on, so it would have given us a bit more time with the players. As it stands at the moment, we'll have to wait until two semi-finals are played off and the county final the following week again. So that's the only complaint I have. But look, we're lucky to be playing.
Absolutely, and hopefully we'll see crowds before the year is out. Here's Neil Montgomery. Here's Dean Beresford already on the score sheet. Good chance inside. Fisted effort. Sent over the bar. Michael Kiley.
Really slick, wasn't it? You know,
yeah, he can do it with the small ball and do it with the big ball as well.
Great movement all the way up that right hand flank. You know, just good passing, good way to pass all the way. In on the run, collecting it in their stride. Lovely score.
8-3 and the gap goes out to 5. It's the biggest it's been so far. Owen Conway searching for that one, battling hard, gives a shoulder there, fair shoulder charge to David Newby. He did well, Conway, doesn't have support. He does in the form of Owen O'Shea, who's gone back into defence. Oh, a stray ball there. Conor Prunty mocking up the hurling vice captain into David Newby. Swings in off his left, well cut out there by Jack Keane. He's played under 20 with Waterford. Clear the mark earlier on. That was an important interception, Benji, because it was danger signals for Ardmore. And it's Jack Keane again, and to Seamus Cronin, a long way from his assigned position. Looking for Stephen Keating, and he's claimed it inside. Bit of a super sub for them up in Crow Park, and he shows a nice turn of foot there inside to brother Kieran. Good support though. And that's Stephen to Kieran to Seamus. Now Michael Cronin. This is a good move from Ardmore. Can Kennedy finish it? No, he can't. Just curl it right, curl it wide. That's their first wide of the night, and they need all of those to go really, Benji, if they have any chance here.
They really do. Now that was a little bit better. That was a percentage chance, you'd have to say, from the right side of kick-up. They do. They need to go over. Definitely do.
Yeah, it's 8-3 and Prunty's on the move, and a takedown there from one of the Ardmore defenders. Tommy Sullivan was play on. Pudge inside. Patrick Horney having a fair old battle royale with Seamus Prendergast near edge of the square. To Patrick Foley. And the newcomers, fresh faces on this Ardmore team. Seamus Cronin in a bit of a dicey spot here, and he's turned over. It's Montgomery. Can he find Patrick Horney inside? He can. This is another goal chance here for Ballinacourty to David Newby. Pulls the trigger, finds the bottom corner of the net. Goal for Ballinacourty. Goal for David Newby. 1-4 for him. Ballinacourty 1-8. Ardmore 3 points.
Half time for Mimi Bryan, JJ Cameron's on senior football. Bricky Rangers 1-5, Stradbally 5 points.
So Bricky Rangers ahead against Stradbally 1-5, I believe. Half time in Limmy Bryan, but that's a killer of a score for Ardmore, Benji. Also the manner it happened as well, turnover deep in their own half.
Yeah, I mean, on the edge of the D with the ball in the hand, but just again lack of support and having to take too many plays on the ball in an extremely dangerous area of the field, attracting Ballinacourty players into him, and then when the turnover came, there was only one out.
So Ballinacourty by 8, and again Ardmore not successful after a kick out, and this is Patrick Horney, and could be another goal on here. It's Brian Luby, 1 point already. Make that 2 from Brian Luby. He's been very impressive so far, Benji, in both halves of the field.
Yeah, it looks really, really slick, really moving really well, Brian.
So 2 points for Brian Luby from play. I'm not sure the last time that happened. It's going to be a kick out by Christopher Power. And we're leaving free out for Ardmore. He's it short, steals a few yards. Michael Conan, the captain. He's played underage football and hurling with Waterford. This is Jack Keane under pressure again. Heavy hits coming in out to Seamus Keaton. Ardmore need to get him on the ball more often. Keaton making ground here, making headway, the former Ulster Academy man. And I've seen him kick frees from that distance in the past, but not this time. Dangerous ball into James Kennedy, but too much elevation on it. And out it comes again. And Ballinacourty can break with McCarthy. And to Dean Beresford. And Glo Halloran. Courty moving well here from back to front. This is James O'Mahony. And to Patrick Pudge Horney. And push on the back. Free out for Ardmore. And apart from James Kennedy, Benji, there's not too many other forward threats for Ardmore so far.
No, they just don't seem to be using the channels. Everything was going straight down the middle a lot of the time. The couple of times they did use the channels, the opportunity opened up, but again, it's just the ball isn't moving quick enough for me.
Right.
The ball has got to go through the hands quicker. Men have got to realise that they need to go into the space to collect ball and then move ball on again. And that's the only way you really challenge a Ballycourty side. You've got to get them moving. They're quite happy staying in that central area, knowing that the ball is going to come through there in somebody's hands, and that's easier to defend against.
So is that the message from the Ardmore mentors at half time? Quicker movement of the ball, better support play, and maybe a bit more width in their play, as you mentioned.
Absolutely. Look, I mean, all of those things need to be improved. It's just a pity because, shortly after the water break, they were 2 points down, and now they find themselves well adrift. So it's going to be difficult to come back from 9 points down.
Yeah, 1-4 without reply for Ballinacourty in this second quarter, and 1-4 from the boot, the right boot of David Luby. The goal, a real killer score, 31 minutes, and leaves Ballinacourty 9 points up at the break as the floodlights come on here in Fairfield. We're going to take a short break. We'll be back with all the second half action here from Fairfield very shortly. So welcome back to Fraher Field. It's round 1 of the County Senior Football Championship. We're getting ready for the second half here. It's Ballinacourty 1-9, Ardmore 3 points, and the rain has arrived here. We had the sunshine for the throwing at the start of the first half, and now we have the rain, so a few of the players getting the gloves. They're going for the gear bags, they're getting the gloves. I think the Macassa gloves are long gone out of fashion, Benji, at this stage. The bright yellow ones.
The dimpled ones, yeah. They're well gone.
But we're just about ready for Tommy Sullivan throwing the ball. And surprise scoreline coming in from Malimi Bryan. Bricky Rangers 1-5, Stradley 5 points at the break. But we're ready to go here for the second half with Brian Luby. And as far as Patrick Kearney, out to Michael O'Halloran. Halloran goes high, and Halloran is accurate. The captain gets on the score sheet, and the start that Ballinacourty wanted and the start that Ardmore dreaded, Benji.
Absolutely, and now they've got to try and secure possession from an area that's been a problem from the start of the game, is the kick-out.
Yeah, Christopher Power is looking for options, and there's not too many of them. He kicks it short, a nice ball out to the wing towards Jack Keane. One of the bright spots in this Ardmore performance, along with James Kennedy. He's won a free too, Jack Keane. Ardmore managed by Tommy Power this year. And a stray pass there by Dick Prendergast. And Pudge is sent in Monty here, Neil Montgomery. 3 blue shirts and a point. For Neil Montgomery, 2 for him, 1 in each half, and again, a bit of a gift from the Ardmore defence, Benji.
Yeah, the ball should have been switched to the other side of the field, but if there wasn't anyone gone out there looking for it, I mean, Declan just misplaced the hand pass.
So the gap goes out to 11, 1-11 to 3. Big wins already this weekend, and a nice fetch there by Jack Keane. His second mark at night chooses to play on. Into Stephen Keating on for Niall Hennessy, of course, in the opening half. Hennessy off injured. This is come to something for Ardmore. It's their danger man. It's James Kennedy. Kennedy ducking and diving inside. Gives it out to Owen Conway, looking for a big one. And he's got it too. Kennedy with the assist, Conway at the point, and one that Ardmore badly needed.
Badly needed, yeah. I know it's vitally important they're tight here and try to turn over this ball.
No, a very easy one in the end to Brian Luby, and look, he's acres of space to run into here. 2 points in the first half for him. And to Patrick Kearney. Running the score sheet so far, Pudge, but he's a good supplier, and this is Michael Kiley. Punch one over in the first half, this one over with the right boot. 2 points for Kiley, 1-12 for Ballinacourty, 4 to Ardmore, and you were mentioning Ardmore squeezing up tight on the kick out. Benji, they didn't, they left Brian Luby loose, and of course he capitalised at the other end.
Absolutely, Brian Luby looks like he's playing pretty much in the middle sector of the field, but he's almost taking up a centre forwards role, dropping back and collecting his own kick out there. I mean, he's far more advanced than I've ever seen him in a green and white shirt before.
Ball inside into Neil Montgomery. On the turn, on the spin. Chance here, goal chance for Neil Montgomery. Drops it to the floor and just sends it left and wide.
A little bit unlucky, wasn't he? He just lost it in the contact and did his best with the ball on the ground.
He's a real danger man though, Benji, in both codes. Hurling and football, big player for Ballinacourty.
The agility is the key thing there. I mean, he can turn so quickly and get into his stride so fast, and he's got such speed.
So a goal chance goes a banging there for Courty, and relief for Ardmore, and again Christopher Power going to this stand side, trying to pick out a player, but and do so. Well, the Paulie did his damnedest try to keep it in, but it's going to be a line ball to Courty. So the rain has stopped for now. There's a little bit of a shower there during the break. And Seamus gets out in front of Patrick Kearney on that occasion. Seamus Keating to his brother Kieran. Oh, strong challenge coming in there from James O'Mahony. And he takes on 2 Ardmore players and gets by them both. Strong challenge coming there from Keating, and still goes James O'Mahony into Conor Prunty. Out to Michael O'Halloran. Going to his credit so far, but It's gone a little bit wide for Neil Montgomery. High ball inside towards Prunty, but that skids off the surface and goes out wide. A bit no taking there. I think that was for the heavy challenge on James O'Mahony, Benji, with Seamus Keating.
Yeah. I think he panicked and he felt that this is going to go to the net if I don't do something.
He takes one for the team there, a yellow card, and James O'Mahony is limping towards the sideline. So Ballycourty temporarily down to 14 men.
Break on here.
Yeah, it certainly is. Michael Cronin, the skipper. Good hand pass inside to Flavin. Oh, Keating coming in. And it's mopped up there along the ground, according to Tommy O'Sullivan, by Beresford, James Beresford, and it's going to be a close-in free. Taken quickly by Keating, but it's not going to allow that, and a bit of argy-bargy inside. So Ballinacourty are going to ring the changes here. Mark Toomey is going to come on for James O'Mahony. And this will be a tap-over free for Kennedy. It certainly is.
Substitution of the Ballycourty team, number 5, James O'Mahony, is replaced by number 21, Mark Toomey.
So confirmation of that change.
Again, Brian Luby's loose.
Yeah, you called it, Benji. Straight out to Brian Luby. And look at him gobbling up the ground there from his zone 21 to the opposition 65, and he's still going. In front there is Paul Cherney, but no joy. Gone wide. Again, Brian Luby though is orchestrating it all from the back, Benji.
He is, and he's just dropping the ball into the pocket, and it's just not tight enough inside.
Substitution of the Ardmore team, number 12, Kieran Keating, is replaced by number 18, David Lynch.
So David Lynch is introduced instead of Kieran Keating. He was limping a little bit towards the end of that first half. To Jack Keane, and he's the one outlet that Power has from the kick out.
He's winning his battle, isn't he?
He's doing well so far, has to be said. Out towards the corner. Patrick Horney with the cross, and just can't find the teammate. It's Seamus Cronin back there covering. This is Declan Pendergast. Finds Seamus Keating. Into James Kennedy, into Michael Cronin, I should say. Out to Owen Conway. Point score in this second half. 10 the difference. And this is the new man in, Mark Toomey. Cleans it up nicely, and there as always is Brian Luby. He seems to be everywhere for Ballinacourty tonight. Oh, nice outside of the right boot by Michael Holler out to David Luby. And a score come off this. This Luby inside the team, Beresford. And get it on the first attempt, and at the second attempt straight off the ground, but lovely outside of the boot pass there by Michael O'Halloran.
Just a little bit too eager just to get that ball.
So Ballinacourty by double digits here.
There's no movement. There's just no movement here. No one looking for space.
So Seamus coming out with it for Ardmore. Ships a high challenge. Now to Michael Cronin. Now to Seamus Keating. As you can see, there's nobody on top of vans or cherry pickers tonight peering over the bank in Fairfield. I hope you're enjoying it at home or wherever you're watching it. This is James Kennedy, just left and wide, and he gets the free out of it though.
Yeah, he did really well to create the space to go through there. You have to admire the endeavour in the young lad. Really did well.
Absolutely, 4 points so far.
He was trying to kick a really difficult kick too. Kind of the top of his boot straight forward kick is almost the most difficult kick, and he was travelling at such a pace it was a difficult one to take.
This is a place kick now for Kennedy. 3 in the first half, and this is his second of the second half. Back-to-back points for Kennedy and Ardmore, and it's 112-6. Kick out goes this time to Mark Toomey. Freshman in for the injured James O'Mahony. Toomey looking for options there, and pressurised. There's pressure on the ball there from Ardmore, making them sweat for it. Ryan Luby though. Cool, calm and collected. Out to James Beresford. Tom Luby. Just finds the space. Looking up for options here now, Tom Luby. Mark Toomey began this move. Now to Michael Kiley, injects some pace into it. Kiley gets a hefty shoulder there from Seamus Prendergast and Jack Keane. Good rob from Ardmore. But David Lynch a little bit isolated there, and it's going to be free out. But I suppose James Kennedy and Jack Keane, the two standout players for Ardmore so far, Benji.
Yeah, absolutely. They're not wasting too much possession. That's the thing. Just Ardmore just a little bit too wasteful with the ball, and then when they get it, it's just the support play isn't quite there.
David Luby is going to line this one up on 4 to his credit already. This is a 44.5, we'll call it. Just goes out left. Can they make something of it here? Patrick Corney, it's high, it's hanging, and it's gone left and gone wide. Patrick Corney still waiting to open his account. And,
difficult kick there, just kind of over the shoulder kick almost. Really difficult one to try and swing in.
3-time county winner with Courty. Patrick Corney 7, Leveland 13, but he's still a big threat at the edge of the square. And again, as you mentioned, Benji, not a lot of options for Christopher Power there. And under pressure again, Michael Cronin. And he'll be glad to hear Tommy O'Sullivan's whistle there. Looks like Ardmore going to ring the changes here. A couple of subs getting ready. Oh, Montgomery goes in long, and it's
probably worth a try, wasn't it?
It was, certainly was. Went for the lob. Neil Montgomery. Brian Newby long ball. From Power and he got hands it away. Certainly is. He gets the free out. He was caught in his 21-metre line there, Benji, and he did very well in fairness to him. And I must mention another Ardmore goalkeeper, Sean Barron. He pulled off a penalty save for Cove Ramblers last night against Drogheda. He's turned his hand to the soccer, of course, played inter-county football at Waterford. And a throw ball there by Seamus. That was pretty clear cut, Benji, has to say.
He might have a case for his left arm being held down by his side, to be fair to him.
What a servant over Ardmore.
Oh, terrific club, absolutely terrific. Exemplary for all young fellas coming through. How much a club means to them, and
he's still fit as a fiddle. He's like Michael Brickwell for Stradbally.
Yeah.
There's probably no end to Prendergast. This is going to be David Luby. No mistake, he's 1-5 in his back and he's 1-5 on the score sheet. 10-point game, Ballycourty 113, Ardmore 6 points. And we must thank our sponsors this evening's broadcast on YouTube, Adesco, Ballinacourty, and of course Round Tower Hotel in Ardmore. And bit of a worrying time for Ardmore now is Montgomery. Saved again by Power, punched away by Power. Danger still not cleared. Michael O'Halloran. It's the compensation of a point. Which again, Ardmore kind of water his own downfall again.
Absolutely.
And look, the cavalry's arriving off the bench now as well, Benji.
Michael Kiley is replaced by number 23, Aaron Beresford. Number 12, Michael O'Halloran is replaced by number 22, Sean Whelan Barrett. And number 14, Patrick Kearney is replaced by number 11, Mark Ferguson.
Yeah, we have to wait till they come on. But it's a point for Michael O'Halloran is the end result of all of that. He's got 2 on the night. Darren McGrath looking for Conor Prunty. It's Prunty again, far side of the field. Pudge is looking for it, he's screaming for it, he'd like a score before he comes off. And
Just a straightforward throw there.
throw all, and again, the three men on the line, waiting for their opportunity. That's Mark Ferncombe, Sean Whelan Barras and Aaron Beresford. We'll follow the play, Patrick Kearney with his last action being assist. It's Michael O'Halloran to Kiley, goal. Green flag is raised, Michael Kiley, and he signs off with a goal, Benji.
Yeah, they're running wide a bit now, aren't they? Ardmore persisting with trying to play the ball through the middle. And that middle area is so congested, it's so difficult to pick your pass in. And it's just because there's a lack of work rate in the Ardmore players at the moment, and they're not spreading the ball wide enough. And as a consequence, then trying to bring it up through that channel, you're going to turn the ball over whether you like it or not. And, the wind is at the Ballinacourty backs now, and they're really driving at that goal.
So it's a 14-point gap at the moment. You have manager Tommy Power for Ardmore, selectors Frankie Norton, the great Johnny Hennessy, of course, named Waterford's greatest footballer of the last 50 years by the Irish Independent during the lockdown. Mary Cup winner with Munster in the 70s. What did they say to him, Benji, in this huddle?
Difficult, the situation they find themselves in. Ardmore you're talking about?
Ardmore.
Yeah, I think, you just have to give them some form of a goal to achieve in this last period now. Perhaps just work on turnovers, or perhaps try to win it try to win this period by a margin. Perhaps get the ball up there and really squeeze. What have they got to lose now? Really, at this stage probably wouldn't be any harm. Get a shot on goal and press hard on the kick, and just see if they could turn over a ball up there. And that's obviously what Ballinacourty are doing to Ardmore. So turn the tables on them a little bit and see if that will work. And at least try and win this period again and come out of it with a positive. So
Bricky Rangers 2 goals to the good against Stradbally, goals by DJ Malay and Mark Cumann for them. With Nimmy Bryan 2-8. Heading into the last quarter there. What an upset that'll be.
Absolutely, and with Ryan waiting as the third team in the group, it's
makes it tasty enough.
Absolutely, it does. Yeah, it's that could be a huge change for coming there.
Yeah, Bricky Rangers, survival specialists, escaped 3 of the last 4 years from relegation playoffs.
Scoring difference could be massive in that group, yeah.
Yeah, could be indeed, and the 2 subs come in for Ardmore. Nathan Bryan is on number 19. I'm told by Nicky Keaton of Ardmore that Nathan Bryan is a fine cricket player as well as a footballer, so he's gone in on the edge of the square. And Glenn Lynch has gone in as well, wearing 22. So we're back underway for the last quarter here, 2-14-6. The goal is by Michael Kiley and by David Luby. 1-2 for Kiley, his night's work is finished. So 2 is Michael O'Halloran and Patrick Kearney. Subs on Mark Ferncombe, Sean Whelan Barrett and Aaron Beresford. It's James Flavin. Goes in high, another one for Stephen Enright. Punches it away. Chance for David Lynch, well blocked down though by Mark Toomey. He'll want to make his mark ahead of...
Substitution of the Ardmore team, number 3, Seamus Prendergast, was replaced by number 19, Nathan Bryan.
So Seamus Prendergast off on the Ardmore team. And Seamus Keaton is going to line this up from the 45. Played for the Waterford Hurlers in 2018 Munster Championship against Cork. All-Ireland medal winner, of course, at Ardmore. And should have the range from this. I've seen him kick frees off the ground from 65 in Nimmy Bryan one night. This is a chance now from a 45 for Seamus Keaton, Ardmore number 9. 14 points the difference, 11 to play here. Keaton off the left. Stephen Enright takes a good look at that. No signal, but we presume we went wide, Benji.
Yeah, signal just then. Took a while.
We call them inexperienced umpires down at the country goal, but fair play to them. And they've put their hand up. It's a thankless job at the best of times. Zarin Beresford. Beresford on the field now for Ballinacourty. This is another one. This is Dean Beresford. Look at that for a turn of foot. He's inside Beresford. Oh, a heavy tackle there by Declan Pendergast. And there's a bit of note taken here to be done by Tommy O'Sullivan. High tackle there by Declan.
He's a big object to move, isn't he, Dick?
Sure is.
He put himself right in the way of the run. So.
In fairness, Dean Beresford will get back up to his feet. And another chance for David Luby to perform his party piece. 1-5 so far. Hope you're enjoying our coverage wherever you're tuned into us here. Of course, no spectators due to COVID-19. And David Luby makes no mistake, 1-6 for him. I suppose any team, Benji, club or county, you need a reliable free taker, and David Luby is certainly that for Courty.
And they're kicking up the score tonight, Ballycourty, but you know, when this championship gets hot and heavy in the later stages, I mean, there'll be pressure kicks and they've got to go over. So it's key.
Yeah, practice makes perfect, certainly from David Luby's point of view. And here's a man who makes progress here. That's Mark Ferncombe, Sean Whelan Barrett. Chance for a third goal here, and it's buried in the back of the net. Third goal for Ballinacourty.
Yeah, Sean Willenbart showing all his skill there, throwing the ball out, selling the dummy, and the defender taking it and then slipping the lovely pass through. Lovely finish.
Neil Montgomery with the finish. He's been threatening that all night, Benji.
Yeah, look, Neil has all the skills, you know. He'd probably be involved in a county football panel if he wanted, and you know, he's chosen hurling, that's fair enough.
Mark claimed there. Chance here now on the break for Ardmore. Looked like a takedown there, and it was. There was a clear opening there for Ardmore. Seamus Cronin. 3:15 is a big total. We saw our Rathcormac put up 3:21 earlier. 1-2 for Neil Montgomery tonight. It's James Kennedy, tap over, no problem. 6 points for James Kennedy. 3:15 to 7 points. And Brickies have extended their lead in Limmy Bryan. Bricky Rangers 3-8, Strably 9 points. A goal by Conor McGrath. What a result that would be for Brickies.
They'd shown improvement last year, in fairness. You know, they were really moving in the right direction with their football. So obviously they've kicked on from that.
Yeah, that would be a huge result for the Brickies in Limmy Bryan tonight.
Brave.
Seamus Keaton claims it there. 17-point gap here for Ardmore, but their big game will certainly be against Clashmore here midweek, Wednesday night. Tough ask, 2 games in the space of 4 days, but Ardmore have to raise themselves.
That's why it's incredibly important to finish on a high, you know. Come off the field saying, we've achieved this, we did that quite well in that period. Just maintain a possession here and create a viable scoring chance at the end of it. They need to move it out of that area because that's just going to get suffocated. Yeah,
and let's see, can they get a bit of width on the ball here, and James Flavin kicks it out, but that's asking an awful lot of David Lynch, and it's going to be a line ball. So good result as well for the Abbeyside Camogie team in the junior Camogie semi-final. Abbeyside 4-9, Portlaw 3-11, the first year that Abbeyside have entered the adult Camogie team, and they've reached the county final. Can Lawrence Horney's men reach a football final in 2020. In the corner here with Aaron Beresford. To Sean Whelan Barrett. To see him back lined out for the club in hurling and football. Tom Luby, he thought about it initially, lining that one up. Out to James Bull Beresford, and Bull Beresford missed one in the first half. He made amends. 3-16 to 7.
Yeah, great little score. Just bided his time, held his run, and then when he ran hard and got the kick away really quickly, really smart kick.
Must be really encouraging from your perspective, Ben, to see Sean Whelan Barrett out there tonight for Ballinacourty.
Yeah, absolutely. And he looks razor sharp too.
Sure does, and it's Stephen Keating now for Ardmore. Looking for a consolation score here. Oh, lovely pass, Ivan Needle stuff. Oh, chance inside for Flavin. Stephen Enright came out. Is it going to be a penalty? We wait for a signal from Tommy O'Sullivan. He's taking his time. I think he is given a penalty to Ardmore. James Flavin. Tackled by Stephen Enright on James Flavin. How were your thoughts on that decision, Benji?
Yeah, well, I think it was a penalty. Stephen was a little bit unlucky because had the ball gone straight to hand, he was in a prime position, but when it ran along the ground, he ended up with his feet too close to the ball and just caused a problem for himself.
So it's James Kennedy versus Stephen Enright. Country and Fairfield. Sends Enright the wrong way. Coolly dispatched penalty by James Kennedy. And 1-6 for him out of 1-7. 3-16 to 1-7. And you mentioned a kind of a confidence boost coming into the Clashmore game, and that was it, Benji.
Yeah, I mean, in Kennedy, there's full run the whole night. You know, he's a bit of a bright light up top for him, and I can understand why they're trying to put the ball in there so quickly now. I've seen him play it in the last couple of periods. He's really committed to his role. The other side of it, I suppose, is that Ballinacourty have pushed on now, and there is a lot of space up top for Ardmore should they get the ball up there quickly enough.
To David Luby. Brother Tom Luby. Conor McCarthy. Tom Luby. All these players want to get in on the scoring act as well, and so too will this man, Mark Ferncombe. Hurling effort by Ferncombe. How often have we seen that in Fairfield? Curry on target for Ballinacourty. 3-17, 1-7.
It's a fine score. Fine score. Lovely balance, lovely poise. Knew where the post was before he even turned. Great score.
Certainly one of the top club forwards in Waterford that has to take a mark for Ferncombe. Mark out in the middle of the field for Ardmore. Michael Conan, the captain. And to Stephen Keating. He's Jack Keane with him. He orchestrated that penalty opportunity.
Stephen is really game on that fast ball in, isn't he?
He sure is, and
every ball that's come in.
You can't miss him with that shock of black hair over the far side of the field. He's very determined. Chance here now for Seamus Keaton at 45 earlier on, went in around the danger area. $16 the gap at the moment. Only 2 scores for Ardmore so far, James Kennedy and Owen Conway, and Seamus Keaton add his name to the score sheet. That just comes off his brother Stephen out wide, only the third wide for Ardmore. But the only numbers that matter are those big orange ones over the far side here in Fairfield, and it's 3-17 to 1-7. And an into injury time in Limmy Bryan. Bricky Rangers 3-10, Strawberry 11 points. That'll be the result of the weekend. Nobody saw that coming. A straight pass inside. Ballinacourty not going to worry too much about it at this stage. And they're going to be contenders again, Ballinacourty, Benji.
Absolutely. You know, I mean, they've emptied the bench here tonight now, and it hasn't looked like it's weakened the team at all. So, you know, with the games coming up thick and fast, you can expect a few injuries. But when you have supplement your panel the way they have, you know, you can absorb those injuries a lot better than maybe other teams. So they'll definitely be a force.
Certainly so, and 8 scorers I make it so far for Courty. Only 2 for Ardmore. As we coach into time, Declan Pendergast living dangerously there, and he wins the free out. And thank our sponsors. Tonight's game at Esco and Ballinacourty and Round Tower Hotel in Ardmore. Hope you've enjoyed our coverage. This is Seamus Cronin, James Kennedy, Owen O'Shea. Started at full forward but had to go back into the backs due to Niall Hennessy's injury. This is Stephen Keating. He's putting his hand up for the next day with Michael Cronin. Surrounded, swarmed by Ballycourty Georges there, and gets the free. Another chance for Seamus Keating here. He'll put it on the square, go for his point. No indication yet of how much injury time is going to be added on. Chance here now for James Kennedy. He's 1-6 to his credit so far. Takes it out of the hand, takes it high. Still waiting for an indication, and it's gone wide from James Kennedy. And the referee has only added on a minute of injury time. Tommy Sullivan. Job done for Ballinacourty, mission accomplished, and pretty comprehensive stuff in the end.
Yeah, it was. I mean, in the early part of the game, Ardmore probably with a little bit more patience and just a little bit more tact could have stayed attached in the game a little bit earlier and perhaps given them a problem. But Ballinacourty just drove forward through that period of the game and actually they took their scores really, really well. And once that gap was opened up, there was really no coming back for Ardmore. But look, I mean, the finish there was heartening for them, and they'll take that into the game on Wednesday night against Clashmore. And realistically, I suppose, looking at it, they would have said that was the game that they'll be targeting from the start. So, this game will stand to them. Ballinacourty, meanwhile, will feel like, it's job done and move on to next Sunday.
Yeah, so 9 wins in a row for Ballinacourty in this fixture against Ardmore. They've prevailed again, 3-17 to 1-7 here in Fairfield. And that game against Clashmore midweek, Benji, it's like a knockout game really. You have yourselves and Kilmacthomas coming up against Galtier. After losing your first game, the next one is must win. It's knockout championship, both for yourselves and Ardmore now in midweek. Yeah,
it is, and you'd be hoping, first of all, not to pick up any injuries in this game, but second, that you'd actually hit the ground running maybe a little bit better now on Tuesday night for us and for Wednesday night for Ardmore. The game will hopefully stand to the lads, and that's what you'd be hoping to bring into the game, I suppose. Given that your opponents are fresh, but they haven't played that championship match, and there's nothing like championship. You can play any opposition in a challenge match is still a challenge match as far as I'm concerned. So championship is the key, and that's what you'd be hoping, that this game really stands to those teams.
Standout players for Ballinacourty tonight?
Well, Brian Luby was someone who was very to the forefront of the performance in the early part of it and settled them into the game really well. Driving runs through the middle, a couple of really good scores. I suppose Conor Prunty got through a certain amount of work in the middle of the field, as you'd expect he would, and Seamus Keating can be a really dangerous player, and he was kind of anonymous through the game as a consequence, so you'd have to admire that. And then up top, the likes of Tom Luby and those boys, they only need one chance, and Montgomery, small chances in games and they'll win games for you, so they were very, very good, those particular guys.
Yeah, and looks like Ricky Rangers are going to prevail in Limmy Bryan, 3-11 to 13 points at the moment, deep into stoppage time there, but there was only going to be one winner here this evening, and that's Ballinacourty. Many thanks to Benji Whelan on commentary, current Danish football manager, Tomas Rua O'Kyla on controls, and of course Willie up above in the heavens in the bird's nest on camera duty this evening. We hope you enjoyed our coverage. Full-time score here from Fairfield: Ballinacourty 3-17, Ardmore 1-7.